Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review A Good Woman is Hard to Find. And this thriller is directed by Abner Postal and is starring Sarah Bolger, who is absolutely fantastic in this film. She is the selling point of this film. She is a fantastic actress with great presence and a very powerful and emotional performance centered as this woman whose husband has died, and she's in denial of the fact that he was a drug dealer. And there's pressure from her family of her even being involved with him in the first place, and then this other drug dealer gets caught up with her and her two kids, and things come to a head, a very violent head. And her trying to get out from under this dark criminal place that she gets caught up into with gangsters and drugs. And this is a really strong, well-shot, well-directed thriller with a really strong central performance in a film where there's great tension. There's a few scenes in this that really blew me away and really put me on edge. And it's very gritty, it's violent. This film doesn't pull punches, and I think that's the most important thing. And there's interesting relationships, and she goes through this film. Yeah, there's some pretty cliched moments of like, there's a conversation with her and her mother. It's like, you got involved with this man? And it's like, you had so much potential. It's like, we've seen that before, and there wasn't anything particularly interesting about that conversation because it was exactly what we've seen before in a lot of different films. But when you take away those kinds of cliches in there in terms of dialogue and some of the plot, this film is really powerful, thrilling, and intense. And it really builds up to a powder keg of a finale, a climax to this film. And it isn't like she magically becomes John Wick or Brian Mills from Taken, which I appreciated. It's awkward and violent and plays out how it would in a real-world situation. And this character who Sarah Bolger plays really goes on a great arc, and I was in it every step of the way. And there's style to this film. There's some intensity and violence to this film. This felt like something that, like A History of Violence or Eastern Promises, something like Cronenberg could have made. And it really had that energy to it, and I really appreciated this. This film was a nice surprise, and I would highly recommend going to check this out. I watched this on Film Movement. They've been a really awesome site to check out in terms of finding different films at indie theaters around the country, and this is definitely a gem that you should go check out. A Good Woman is Hard to Find is great. It's intriguing, it's intense, it goes to some dark places, and I was in it every step of the way. So, highly recommend this film. Go check it out, and go check out Film Movement and all the other interesting films that they have to offer as well. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.